If you're looking to up the lighting performance on your 2020 or newer JT Gladiator's front end, these Raxam Axial Series LED fog lights with the halo will be a great choice to consider. Now these will complete any LED front end setup if you have upgraded your headlights or any other lighting on the front end and you're looking to match and want a very stylish set to do so. This kit will also be great if you damaged a fog light, whether you're out on the trail or on the street, and you want an affordable replacement while also getting some better lighting if you're struggling with brightness and visibility at night. These will feature a black inner housing that will darken the appearance of the lights and really make the lighting pop when they're on. Now, speaking of the pop of style that you're gonna get from these lights, this will also have that halo to tie into your DRL to make you a lot more noticeable while you're driving around on the street, and of course match with any other halo headlights that you have if your Jeep is equipped. In the center, this set will have 3 projector lenses with high intensity LEDs, which will give off a uniform and bright beam compared to a halogen bulb, creating a cleaner beam pattern. You can also trust that these are going to last with a 50,000 hour lifespan and have some peace of mind that these are going to be DOT and SAE approved. Getting into the build, these are going to have a die-cast aluminum housing for good durability and good heat dispersion. These will also have a durable lens on the front with a polycarbonate construction that's going to offer enough toughness to handle any kick-up on the road or off-road. These will also have multiple style mounting locations to tailor to all model JTs, which is going to be great if you do ever switch up the front bumper. Now, I would like to mention that this is going to require a little bit of wiring when it comes to the halo, but nothing crazy, and we'll show you how to do that in just a minute. When it comes to price, these are going to be very affordable at roughly $90. Now, when comparing these to other options available, I think the big feature with this set is the simplicity with an added touch and the function in the design. Now, that's going to make sure that this is going to match with any setup that you have while offering very clean and clear lighting, and at this price, you really can't beat it. Now, install on these is going to be a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. Again, it will require a little bit of wiring, but it is going to be very straightforward. So I would say it's probably going to take you about 2 hours to get the bumper off, install these properly with some basic hand tools. Now, at this point, we can head over to the shop and check out a detailed breakdown on how to get these onto your Gladiator at home. So that's going to wrap it up for me. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
The tools you're going to need for this install includes an electric 1/4 inch ratchet, a clip removal tool, a 3/8 swivel socket, a T20 torque socket, an 8mm swivel socket, 7mm socket, a 16 and 18mm socket, a 3/8 extension, and an impact. What's up, guys? Today we're going to be installing a set of fog lights on our Gladiator. As you can see, our bumper's already removed. We're going to send you over to watch a short video on how to uninstall your stock bumper, and I'll meet you back here for the install.
So our first step to uninstalling our factory bumper is to remove our splash guard. It's held in by 8 push clips and 2 8mm bolts. So we'll grab an 8mm socket for our bolts and a clip remover tool for our clips. So our first step is to remove these 2 8mm bolts. And now we can remove our push clips. Now coming back up top, right in between our bumper and our grille, we have 2 more push clips that we have to remove. So once again, I'll grab that clip remover tool and pop these out. Next, we can come behind the bumper on the passenger side. We have to disconnect our connector for our fog lights. So we'll press in back here and disconnect our harness. So now staying on the passenger side, right by where we disconnected our fog light harness, we can remove this 16mm bolt as well as these 2 18mm nuts. Now for the top nut, we're gonna leave that threaded on a few threads just to hold everything in place while we work on the other side. So we'll take that 16mm socket to remove our first bolt. And then we'll grab our 18mm socket to remove our 2 nuts. And then once again, up top, we're gonna leave it on a few threads just to hold everything in place. Now coming to the inside of our passenger frame rail, we have the same setup with a 16mm bolt and two 18mm nuts. So once again, we'll grab that 16mm socket for the bolt. And then we'll swap out to our 18mm socket for our nuts. And on the inside of our frame rail, we can fully remove both of our nuts since we have that one supporting the weight on the other side. And then we can slide our bracket out of the way. And once we're done with the passenger side, we can repeat those same steps on the driver's side. So now we can go ahead and remove our two nuts that we have left supporting the bumper and fully remove it.
All right guys, so now that we have our bumper off the vehicle, we're gonna come over and grab a 7mm socket, and there's gonna be 6 bolts on each side to remove this plastic cover. So now we'll grab that 7mm socket, we're gonna remove these bolts. We got one more down here. Then we can grab a clip removal tool. We're gonna remove our connector out of that hook. Come over here and remove this clip. Now you can remove those bolts on the other side, and we can lift up and remove our plastic. So now that we have all of our bolts removed and that clip removed, we can remove our plastic. We can set this off to the side. So now that we got that plastic cover removed, that reveals our fog light. We're gonna remove our connector first, which is gonna be this brown tab. We're gonna press down and pull up. Set that off to the side. Then these 3 screws here are gonna be removed with a T20 Torx socket. Now all we have to do is lift up. Now you can repeat this process for the other side. All right, so now we can install our new fog light. It's gonna go in the same orientation as it came out. Gonna thread our factory screws back into place. And just so you guys don't get mixed up, they are labeled right and left. Then we can tighten these down with our T20 Torx socket. One more up top. And now for our harness, we're going to need an adapter that's included in the kit. We're going to make sure that these are labeled plus and minus. So we're going to line up the red wire with the plus sign. And now from here, we can take our original connector and make that connection. All right guys, so for these fog lights, we're going to wire into the harness on your fender flares. So we're going to pull back on our wheel well. And that's going to expose these 2 T-taps that have already been installed. But just for you guys, we are putting the T-taps on the white and yellow wire and the black wire. And then for this install, we're gonna need a wire with male and female connectors. So we're going to take our male end, and this is going to be for our yellow wire. So our yellow wire is going to go into the white wire up here. Just going to let this dangle for a minute. And we're going to grab a blue wire, which will be for the blue connector. That's going to go into this T-tap right here. Now we're going to set these off and put our fender well back into place. Now you can do that for the other side. All right guys, so before we install our plastic cover, for this install we're going to need 2 separate wires with male and female connectors on. So this, since it's blue, we're going to connect it to our blue connector here. We'll grab the female end, put that into our male end, put that cover over. And we have our yellow wire. Double connect down here. Then we're going to leave these off to the side for when we put our cover on. So now we can tuck that in there. You repeat for the other side. And now we can get our plastic cover back on. Now we can reinstall our plastic cover. Gonna grab our wires, make sure they're not in the way. Push them off to the side over here, let them hang. Grab our main connector, we can re-plug this clip back in. Put that in the hook. Now we can reinstall our bolts, going all the way around. Now we can thread our bolts back in. Now we'll tighten these down with our 7mm socket. Now you can repeat this for the other side. All right, so before we install our bumper onto the vehicle, we have to reinstall our brackets. So we're gonna take our 16mm bolt, we're gonna thread this in, grab our plate, slide it through. You want to make sure that the holes are lined up with the holes on the frame rail. Once you got those lined up, we're going to tighten these down with a 16mm socket. Now you can do this process for the other side of the frame rail and for the other side. All right, so now we have our bumper. We're going to line these studs on the bumper up with the mounting points on the frame. I have my wires tucked out of the way so we don't get them pinched. So now we're just going to slide these into place. And just push it in until the holes on the frame rail line up with the holes on the plastic part of the bumper. So now we're going to grab our 18mm nuts. We're going to thread this onto the back of the studs. Take our 18mm socket and we're going to tighten these down. Now you can do that for the other side of this frame and for the other side. So now we're going to grab our wires that are from the fog lights. We're going to come over here to our wheel well. I'm going to peel it back. As you can see, these were pre-installed, but you want to use some T-taps on the white and brown wire and the white and green wire. So we're going to grab our yellow wire from the fog light, and that yellow wire is going to go into the green wire on this side, and our blue is going to go into the brown. Now we can kind of grab this and tuck it into our wheel well. We can reinstall the wheel well, press it in our clip, and you can do this for the other side. All right, so now we can install our small skid plate. These tabs here are going to slide into the holes on top of the subframe. We're going to thread our bolts in on each side. Then we can grab a 16mm socket and tighten these two down. Now we can reinstall our plastic skid shield. We're going to bring this under those two tabs on each side. We're gonna line up the holes. We're gonna use the large plastic push clips. We're gonna slide them in and go all the way around. We got 2 more on each side. These side ones are a little tricky to get in. All right, now you can repeat that for the other side. Now we can reconnect our fog light harness. Slide it in until you hear a click. All right, now we have 2 more 8mm bolts, and we're gonna thread in on both these sides. And we'll tighten these down with an 8mm swivel socket. All right, so now we have a few more push clips we got to put in on the top side of our bumper. I'm just going to slide these in. These smaller push clips go into these holes. We'll just keep going down the line. And our last one's going to be that small pin. All right, and now your install is complete. So that's going to wrap up the install on our Raxium Axial Series LED fog lights with halo for your 20 to 23 Jeep Gladiator JT. Thanks for watching, and for all things Gladiator, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.